been MIA for a little while. You guys know I was sick, so I'm starting to finally feel better. We're going to start to get back into the groove of normal readings, and I'm going to try really hard to come at least go live a couple of times a month for you guys over here. I do also go live over on my TikTok. If you don't have access to TikTok, that's cool. So come and hang out. We're going to pull some free cards, more free cards for anybody who wants them today of your choice, just to say thank you for sticking with me while I've been sick. And I did post a weekend message already. Let's see what else is happening. I have a bunch of my decks out today, so we're going to do those. Let's see, what do I want to start with? Let's see, how's life treating the collective? Why not? If you guys book a personal reading with me, you guys can also request that I add like specific decks if you've seen them on the channel. Hey, I really want some of your musical deck, or hey, I really want some twin flame messages in my reading, things like that. Especially if it's just a general, we can mix and match different things. So let's see what's happening. This won't be a long live, it's just going to be a short one. And if anybody pops on and wants a couple of free cards, that's what we're doing today. The next time I go live, I'm going to try and do some mediumship. Post in advance when I'm going to do that, so you guys can try and be part of it. It'll probably be on an evening or a weekend. Might even be like a Sunday afternoon, because I know most people are usually around on Sundays. So we'll try that. We'll see if that works. All right. What do we have going on for the collective? How's life treating them? What do they need to see for the next 3 days? Cup of coffee, daily energy boost, caffeine addict. They know you at Starbucks. Make sure that you're not dealing with any sort of addiction, truthfully. And if you are, you might need to address that. But I do feel like you need a little boost of energy. So sit in the sunshine, drink a cup of coffee if you like coffee, cup of tea, whatever floats your boat. And starting over, making a fresh start. So there's lots of changes coming. Eclipse tomorrow on Saturday, the 29th of March. It's in the sign of Aries. So wherever Aries sits in your birth chart is the house that it's affecting the most. It's creating upheaval. It's creating change. It's also clearing the slate so that you can open up opportunities for new things to come in. So make a start over. Don't waste your life. It's time to get out there and live. And somebody might be treating you like a redheaded stepchild or a scapegoat. You might have some problems with your family. My sign of Aries, I think, is in my 5th house, so home, family, relationships. So that's where mine's being affected. Definitely needing to make some adjustments there as well. All right, skydiving. So some sort of adventure. You. I feel like Spirit's trying to get the collective to kind of step out of a comfort zone, kind of go in a new direction and try new things, and that could be really important. And some life lessons might need to be learned. Some are easy, some hurt. It's a lot better if we can learn from our mistakes. Hi, Two Joker. How are you? We're doing a couple of cards if anybody wants them. I'm also pulling for the collective. So these ones are collective that I'm doing. Let's get some love reading. Let's see what's going on. So if you want a couple of free cards, all you've got to do is put your name in the chat. If it's something specific, let me know. If it's time sensitive, let me know. Like, will my ex come back, next week, next 6 months? Make sure you give me a time frame. Hi to everybody who's joining us. Good to see you guys. All right, what's going on for the singles? Got a couple of flippers here. Ooh. Somebody was stabbed in the back recently. We don't like that. That's not a good situation to be in. So hopefully you're getting away from the heartbreak and pain. There could be some sort of deception or shocking attack that has happened. You could be going towards a soulmate instead. What else do we have for singles? What do they need to see? Singles. Ooh, really? The engagement ring? Maybe if I could hold on to it. So I do think some of you guys are going to be off the market before like the end of summer. Yeah, wedding rings and addiction. Somebody might feel like they're addicted to you. So make sure that it's a healthy situation. You don't want to be with somebody who's stabbing you in the back, things like that. But you also have some codependency issues that it looks like need to be healed. So we've got to work through those things and process through in order to get to something that's healthy. You could be marrying a soulmate. I feel like within the next 6 to 8 months, that could be a real thing. Yep. And someone's about to express exactly how they feel. Okay. What else do singles need to know? Someone might be running from their feelings, so they need to take a good hard look in the mirror and make sure that it's what they want. Why is the fear there? And what can we do about releasing the fear? and the phoenix. It's time to transform. So I do feel like the eclipse is bringing in a lot of transformative energy collectively. I feel like it's an energy that, you know, it happens a few times a year, but it needs to. Otherwise, we get in these ruts where we're just kind of stuck and stagnant, needing to go forward. All right, let's see what kind of sign symbols and synchronicities we need to see. These are all my decks that I created. So again, if you guys want one of those, let me know. All right, the unilome. So we're going in a new direction towards enlightenment, towards the 5D. If you've never heard that term before, definitely look into it. So it's the collective shift in consciousness of our planet. The whole planet's frequency is going from 3D to 4D to 5D. And so we go through these energetic shifts, portals, and changes throughout the year. And as you're doing the inner work, the soul searching, all that stuff, the shadow work, it's helping you to elevate your consciousness, which your vibration affects others. It affects the rest of the planet, the animals, each other. We're all intermingled and connected by energy. So the frequency of the planet is elevating, which means we in turn have to shift and change, or we're going to be left behind in the 3D, which is where all the conflict and chaos is. And we don't really want that. So we need to keep going. So Spirit's telling us that it's time to face our fears of the unknown. You might go ghost hunting like I do. It's one of my favorite hobbies. So there could be some spirit activity around you as well. The train tells us that you might be taking a trip somewhere, arrivals or departures. You're going in some sort of new direction, and there's definitely some movement on your journey. And Spirit needs you to know that you're protected from the evil eye. Anybody sending any sort of evil intention, it is deflected or returned to sender. What else do they need to see? The eagle. Okay, so we've got to shift our perspective someplace. We've got to see things differently. You've got to have the eagle eye view, right? You've got to be able to see things from a different vantage point. Can you? Of course you can. Sometimes it takes a little bit of practice, but you absolutely can. Get some don't ignore the signs. Let's see what we need to see. All right, don't ignore the signs. Interesting. Music could be really significant for you guys in the next couple of days. You might hear your favorite song. There might be a song that triggers a memory. You might be creating some sort of pleasing sound, or maybe you're just going to sing it out loud, however it happens to work. Maybe you're singing happy birthday. It's Aries season. So if you're an Aries, happy birthday to you guys. The birthday hat, some sort of uplifting celebration, the spotlight, feeling special, celebrations and special occasions. And the dream team, interesting. When I made this card, it was supposed to be like Batman and Robin. It was supposed to be like the bat signal. I can't draw for shit. It's fine. So you might be finding the perfect fit or a winning combination that creates the dream team. And there could be a lot of magnetic attraction. So remember, magnets can either pull something towards itself or it can repel it. It depends on the signal. And I feel like this person sees you as soft, squishy, sweet little gummy bear. One more of these. The boat. So I do feel like some of you are moving, traveling, or relocating. The boat tells us that we're exploring new things on our journey and that we are taking a trip or going forward in some new direction. Okay. This next deck is called Soundtrack of Our Life. It's all songs. Has the title and who sings it. And I use the title of the song to tell the story of what's going on. So you guys see this one in the daily card. I use it so we can pick a song for our daily card. And I post those Monday through Friday. So we get kind of a theme of what the day's energy kind of holds. Let's see what else we've got here. Okay. Ooh, can't help falling. Somebody's got feelings, and I feel like they haven't quite expressed that to the person on their mind yet. They might be thinking about buying a home, settling down. I feel like they're seeing reminders or hearing music everywhere they go that reminds them of this specific person. And I do feel like they want to close the gap, right? They're willing to put in the effort to make the distance be less. I feel like they would meet you in the middle. They would walk towards you, you know, they would definitely come and kind of like meet you in the middle to make this work. I do feel like someone's asking for some divine intervention. I feel like they're kind of like throwing their hands up in the air going, I don't know what else to do. So they've got to consult with the divine and see if the divine can help. They know that nothing compares to you. I feel like they've looked elsewhere, and what they want is within you, and they can't find it elsewhere. When a man loves a woman, they're willing to go through a lot of things. Spirit's telling me walk through fire to get there, because without you, they feel like they're locked out of heaven. They need you in their life. They also know that nothing's going to change their love for you. Again, songs can be significant. They're hearing songs about you, I feel like, a lot. They're really stuck on you. They don't want to let go of this situation. They could even be having dreams about you. And it looks like this person's one number away from potentially reaching out and calling you. They could also be numbing their feelings with things like tequila. Numb, see, yeah. So they could definitely be trying to kind of hide how they feel. Maybe they're trying to put on a front for some reason. Maybe they're worried about what you'll say. Maybe they don't think you have the same feelings, but they could be on their way to you because they can't go on without you. They need you in their life. Oh, well, whoever that is, hope everything works out for them. We did have the love call in the other deck, in the love deck. So I do feel like some of you will be hearing from them. All right, let's get a general tarot reading, and then we're going to open it up for anybody who wants some cards for free. Let's see what's going on. Let's say from now until like mid-April, because we're almost at the tail end of March. Oh, well, the tower just flew out. The tower. So expect some major changes. I do feel like there's going to be some upheaval, some transformative energy. Again, we have an eclipse tomorrow. So eclipses are all about change and transformation, right? Things need to change in order for it to not feel stuck and stagnant. Things need to change in order for us to make some progress. Otherwise, we're just kind of spinning our wheels and nothing's really getting any better. What else do we need to see? You could be hearing from somebody that you have a past with. There could also be a lot of nostalgia. Again, I feel like songs are kind of triggering some memories of a certain someone for somebody out there. And I do think that there needs to be some changes made. Yeah, because we want to go towards our happiness and a wish fulfillment. And we know it takes teamwork to make the dream work. So we've got to make some changes in order to get there. Yeah. So we're going through transformation, energy, death, and rebirth. We're closing out old chapters so we can get to something new. I feel like for some of you, it's going to be really a dramatic change. Like it's not just going to be like, oh, I cut my hair, or, oh, I, changed how I dress or whatever. It's going to be a dramatic change for some of you. And for some of you, it will be like life altering, hopefully in a good way. Make it a good possibility, like work on yourself in the meantime, work on going towards things that make you happy, healthy, safe, and secure, because you do have new love coming in. I feel like for some of you, you have a choice to make though. You've got like either a current situation, somebody that you've got a past with, and then you have brand new love trying to come in too. So you're gonna have to make a choice. And there's a lot of like, melancholy energy. I feel like the Five of Cups is always telling you, you've got to shift your perspective. Got to see things differently. You don't have to look at the past in a negative way. It was a lesson. It taught you something. So master that lesson so you can move forward and try new things, because you have a choice to make coming up about love. And I feel like for some of you, the past was something that you don't want to repeat, hopefully, and you've learned the lesson, so you're able to let go and learn the lesson and grow from it. Right? So we're transforming, we're overcoming these obstacles that are holding us back. What else do they need to see? Two of Cups in the reverse. So there's definitely been some sort of ending, or there will be an ending in a love relationship, because I feel like you're leaving what doesn't serve your highest good so you can go towards something that's much better suited for you. And you're also going to balance out your finances. So there's some abundance coming in. Things that you've manifested might also be coming in. Remember that the Magician tells us that you hold all of the tools that you need in order to change things for the better, to create the life that you want. So what are you creating? What is your reality? Because you created that by your thoughts, your actions. And so I feel like we sometimes have to remember that we can change things if we don't like them. And the Hermit. So we got to do the hard work, the shadow work, the soul searching, go through all the dark night of the soul and the transformative energy to get to the good stuff, right? And that shadow work is needed. Spirit also needs you to remember to take a leap of faith and try new things. Step out of a comfort zone and be willing to go in a new direction. Leave what's not serving you behind. Get out of this nightmarish situation once and for all, so you can quit living in like toxic energy, things that keep you up all night, things that worry you all the time. And you've got to see that so you can set yourself free, so you can make adjustments. All right. You could be going towards a lot of success financially. It might be a partnership where the person is very wealthy, could be a business owner, could be somebody who, has made an empire for themselves. But the King of Pentacles is somebody who's got all of his ducks in a row. He's just looking for the right person to share things with. One more. Two of Swords. You will have to face your fears and make a decision. So I feel like for some of you, you're going towards like a totally different direction. And I feel like this is a dream or a wish come true for you. So you've got to be kind of bold. You've got to see things for what they are. No more fakes or illusions. You've got to be able to make a clear decision on what you want going forward. One more. What's the outcome? There we go. Victory. Love that. So I feel like whatever you choose is going to be right for you at the right time. But you've got to think about things logically and clearly before you decide. No knee-jerk reactions. Think about the pros and the cons before you make a decision, and then stick to it and go forward. I also feel like you have some financial blessings that are trying to come in. So try not to worry too much. Your needs will be met if you're doing the hard work, if you're doing your part, and you do a victory. So potential for fame, fortune, and being in the spotlight is definitely there. I do feel like the eclipse is going to reveal any sort of illusions that you might have been under. They're going to show you what needs to change, so be willing to make adjustments, because some of these are going to be really big and they're not going to be avoidable because the Tower is out here. So I do feel like it's going to be like a night and day difference. Big turnarounds are definitely coming. All right, so we will open the floor up for anybody who wants a couple of free cards. It's 4 free cards. Drop your name in the chat. If you have a specific question, please let me know. If it's time sensitive, please include a time frame. Anybody who's joining us that's never had a reading for me before, hi, I'm Jenna. I'm a psychic medium. I'm a tarot reader. I am an author of 2 published books. One is my autobiography called Stepping Stones to Destiny. The other is a romance novel called The Alabaster Enchantress of New Orleans. If you click the About page, it's going to have a little link for all of those goodies. I do offer personal readings as well. If you guys are ever interested in tarot or mediumship, all you got to do is shoot me an email. Let me know which one you want. Tarot is $25 for a personal. For a single question, it's $5 for each additional question, and it is $100 for a mediumship session. I do all of them remotely, so you would get a private link sent to your email, and then if you have questions after the fact, you let me know. The video gets uploaded here to YouTube privately, so only the people with a link can view it. So that's how my private readings work. All right, is anyone with us that wants a couple of free cards? All you got to do is drop your name in the chat and let me know. And hi to anybody who I didn't say hi to earlier. Good to see everybody. Sometimes we get a big crowd in the afternoons, and sometimes it's like a ghost town. So we just never know who's going to come in. Going once, going twice. Anybody that wants a couple of free cards before we jet out of here? I will try and I might do the week ahead message Monday as a live. We'll see. If I'm feeling up to it, I might just do that. I think it's easier than trying to like record a bunch of videos, and then I'll have to timestamp it as I go or whatever, so you guys can mix and match and watch your signs. But I think Monday I'm gonna just do it as a live stream. It's gonna save me some time. Hello, Evelyn. Anybody want a couple of free cards before we go for the day? And then don't forget, on Sundays at 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, I have the podcast. New episodes air on Sundays. There is a new episode that will air this Sunday at 6 p.m. What time is it right now? About 1:44 my time currently in the afternoon. So, thank you. So if you guys are interested, check out the podcast. It's called The Black Sheep Society. We have new topics every single week. We focus on sharing knowledge, learning from each other's experiences, spiritual topics, things like that. So if you're interested, check that out. This week's episode is going to feature narcissist and empath, and why they attract each other and how to break the cycle. So that's something that I'm quite familiar with. Unfortunately, I've had several of them in my life. I'm an empath. I read energy for people. And so we tend to be like a magnet for energy vampires or narcissistic people. So check that out. I think you guys could learn a lot of information from the podcast, and that's why I do it. It's your birthday. Well, happy birthday. Mine was, what, a week or two ago? I was sick for my birthday, so not super fun. Did you want to get a couple of free cards? We're doing 4 free cards if you would like some, and you get to pick. You can do a general, you can do love, spiritual guidance, shadow work, or dealer's choice. Are you doing anything fun for your birthday today? All right. So if you want a couple of free cards, just let me know. I'm not sure if the yes was for whatever question. Anybody else that wants a couple of free cards, just drop your name in the chat. All right, let's see what we have for you. Interesting. So it looks like you could be contemplating a move. You might be taking a short little trip somewhere. You might be thinking about the future and like where you want to go. So the Two of Wands is a card that would tell you that you need to contemplate like your next move. Where do you want to go? And like how you're going to get there, kind of getting all your ducks in a row, that sort of thing. But you have to pick a path or pick a direction in order to actually take that first step. I do feel like you could be kind of young, like probably under 25. I feel like this is a person who has like a zest for life, somebody who's a bit adventurous, can have a temper sometimes, kind of a rebel, likes to dance to the beat of their own drum, kind of do their own thing, things like that. Could be a fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo placements. And there has been some sort of confusion in your life recently. There could have also been some sort of argument that you're unsure if or how you can resolve that. So try and find a peaceful resolution to that. And it does look like you're going towards some sort of abundance. So this could be a new job. This could be something that you've worked really hard for, but the fruits of your labor are finally starting to come in and pay off so you can live a more comfortable life. So interesting. You have like either a trip or a big move that's coming. And I feel like it's going to be kind of an adventure for you, that you're going to have a lot of new things to do, exploration, places to go, things to see, people to meet. But there is this air of confusion. I feel like that will also be alleviated once the eclipse is over after Saturday. And so I feel like that kind of clears the slate so that you can go towards abundance and celebrating some really positive changes. Going to go to America. Love that. You're 12. Okay. Hopefully you have a parent or a guardian that's going with you then. Because, yeah, you don't want to like make that big of a travel all by yourself for sure. So your 12 is up today. Where are you currently in the world if you're going to go to America? What country are you in currently? I think the chat has a bit of a delay on it, unfortunately. Germany, love that. Awesome. What part of Germany are you in? I had extended family that was from, I always botch the name. I want to say it's Main or Mayen, somewhere in Germany. Magdeburg. Never heard of that one. I'll have to look that one up on the map. Well, cool. I'm glad you found us. So I post about 5 or so days a week. We do a podcast on Sundays over here. Let's see. I post zodiac readings for the collective. So Monday through Friday, there's a daily card. Love readings, spiritual guidance, shadow work, and weekend readings. So those are definitely ones that I post. All right, guys, I got to get out of here for today. Thank you so much for being here. We'll catch you guys next time. Have a good rest of your weekend.